Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to the 6th race of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Lifelock 400 here at Michigan International Speedway, as we are getting set for 30 laps of racing here at this 2-mile racetrack. Now, before we look at the starting lineup, as usual, we take a look at the point standings, and since now we're through with the first 5 races, we have a completely revamped top 30 drivers that are non-rookies. There's only one rookie in the top 30 in points, and that's Richard Johnson. He did not make the race, but he still had to qualify his way in. So the guy who was 31st in points, Joshua Collard, right now is in that borderline of making races and not making races. But the top 10 in the point standings, actually the top 12 considering this season's chase format, will be top 12 and 2 wildcard drivers. So the top 12 currently, Carson Gum leading, Trent Dunham second, third Joshua Sekuli, fourth Charles Sanford, fifth Sean Galligan, sixth Jessica Shelton, seventh Seth Cole, eighth, who is the pole sitter for today, Jay Jefferson, 9th, Johnny Gardner, 10th, Dylan Poteet, 11th, DJ Curtis, and 12th, Dylan Jacobs. Currently, the 2 wildcard drivers would be James McLeod and James Qualls for being the highest inside the top 30 in points and outside the top 12 in points with a win. But of course, long way to go before the chase. We still got, after this race, 21 more races before the chase would begin. So long time from here until then. But let's look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row will be Jake Baskinger, and James McLeod. Top 10 for the starting lineup. Like I said, Jay Jefferson on the pole. Starting next to him is rookie Patrick Smith. Row 2 is Ashlyn Boyd and Charles Sanford. Row 3, Joshua Sekuli, DJ Curtis. Row 4, Cody Lamas and Joshua Collard. And then row 5, Matt McIntyre and Dylan Thoreau. So that does it for the starting lineup, top 10-wise. Let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Lifelock 400 at Michigan.
Drivers, start your engines!
So yeah, all 42 cars are rolling for their 1 pace lap around here. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting race considering with this repave version of Michigan that we're using. It's the same version I think we used it last season. We saw a lot of great racing here. And also it is slightly a bit faster, and that's because of this repave. Whereas Auto Club / California tends to be a little bit more slick. But we shall see how the race is going to turn out here. But let's actually look and see where the points leader, Carson Gum, is in comparison to everyone else. And from what I can tell, he is around, I want to say, mid-pack. So not too bad of a starting spot for the 19, and he is on the inside, which will be a huge help for him trying to get up through the field. But yeah, Jay Jefferson in that amazing looking 5-hour energy vehicle this season. And Jay Jefferson, despite missing the Daytona 500, he is top 10 in the point standings, so he's had a solid start to the season. But he's about to lead to the green as it's time to boogity 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 go racing. Well, it was Ashland Boyd who led the first lap, but we got a new leader already, being Matt McIntyre. He's now up here, but now he's about to get a challenge from Dylan Thoreau in the 6. Dylan Thoreau comes into this race 26th in the championship standings, so he's definitely looking to try and get some momentum going starting now, especially since this is a Ford specialty racetrack, and right now he's up at the front. Just barely though, but he leaves the bottom open as here comes Devin Becker in the Dodge, the Dollar General Dodge for Michael Waltrip Racing. Becker takes the spot for now, but Jessica Shelton's going to be in hot pursuit now for that spot for herself. And she's got to run on the inside with help from Tim Fiegel. And I see Carson Gum has already worked his way up here into the top 5 or so. He's the second car in line on the bottom right now. You can see him right behind Tim Fiegel. And speaking of Fiegel, and oh, I see somebody went sideways. Oh, and we got a crash. Hard crash. Multi-cars. Multiple cars. Matt Haas, it looks like he got a piece of what just took place. Oh, and they're wrecking again. Teammates, Ashland Boyd, Paul Minnick, luckily they just spun. They didn't hit anything. Jay Jefferson must have been the trigger of that. Jake Baskinger was involved, and Carson Gum actually leads at the line. He managed to get to the front before the line. So put Carson Gum as the leader now, but man, it looked like we had a hard crash. There's 3 of the cars. There's McLeod, he was in it. There was the first car I saw get sent around. That was Zach Flickinger, and Alex Drayton was involved in this as well. So we had 2 separate incidents take place on the same lap involving quite a few cars. But Carson Gum is your race leader for the time being, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Michigan. Well, what you're about to witness is probably the hardest crash we have had all season. And watch this. Right there, the 90 of Jackie Tang just pinches Zach Flickinger down the racetrack, forcing him in front of Dylan Poteet. And watch this impact. Bam! Hard on the concrete wall. And then look at this. Right back up in the traffic collects numerous cars. The ones who took the brunt of that were Baskinger, McLeod, and Drayton. They took the worst end of that mess. As we're going to go super slow motion at the impact the 49 made. Watch the miles per hour. 188 miles per hour, left side first, and then right there in the Baskinger, McLeod, and McLeod, after he got into Flickinger, he went hard right into Drayton right there. Incredibly hard crash. And watch as he comes right back up into traffic. Matt Haas, there you see him get a piece of it right there. I don't know how Kyle Matthews and Trent Dunham and those guys didn't get involved in that. That was pretty intense. Preston Plord got held up by the 18 after the fact. But now we're going to try and see what happened up ahead with Ashland Boyd and Paul Minnick. Oh, it was Devin Becker who got the outside wall down in Ashland Boyd, into Jay Jefferson, and into Paul Minnick. Luckily, though, this was a very minor incident. All 3 of those cars didn't really sustain much damage, if any at all. So I feel like all 4 of those guys are definitely going to be able to continue and still be up to speed and still probably contend for the win. But, man, I still can't get over that impact. Both impacts for the 49 of Flickinger. Let's look at it one more time from the beginning. Right there, you see the 90 of Jackie Tang pinch Zach Flickinger down the track into the front end of Dylan Poteet, and Flickinger has no control of his car, slam that wall, and then slides right back up into traffic, collecting quite a few cars, namely Baskinger, Drayton, and McLeod. And McLeod, after he took that vicious hit from the 49, slammed into the 14, and all three of those cars were junk. But we're going to go ahead and take you actually to an onboard shot, a couple different onboards. Onboard with Zach Flickinger. Watch this. This is going to be hard, folks. Man, just absolutely brutal. On board with Alex Drayton. He's going to take a hard hit himself. Man. Mayhem. And finally on board with James McLeod, and this is going to be hard as well. Watch this. Vicious. Absolutely vicious. As expected, the three definite cars done for today include Zach Flickinger, Alex Drayton, and James McLeod. So we're down to 39 cars on track. And while we were under the replay, everyone came down pit road and some different strategies came into play as we got a new leader, Dylan Thoreau. Second is Jessica Shelton. Third is Patrick Smith. Fourth is Tim Fiegel. Fifth is Carson Gum. Sixth, Joshua Sekuli. 7th, Seth Cole. 8th, Cody Lamas. 9th, Matt McIntyre. 10th, Chris Dollarton. 11th, Dylan Jacobs. 12th, Pichu London. 13th, Charles Sanford. 14th, Dylan Poteet. 15th, James Richardson. 16th, Joshua Collard. 17th, Matt Haas. 18th, Jackie Tang. 19th, Dorian Facepuncher, who has some right side damage. And then 20th, William Brock. 21st is James Shelley. 22nd, Zachary Fitzwater. 23rd is Jake Rogers. 24th, James Qualls. 25th, Trent Dunham. 26th is Dylan Young. 27th, Johnny Gardner. 28th, DJ Curtis. 29th, Rafael Leduc. 30th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 31st, Jay Jefferson. 32nd, Phil Parker. 33rd, Preston Plord. 34th, Kyle Matthews. 35th is Paul Minnick. 36th is Devin Becker. 37th is Ashland Boyd. 38th is Jake Baskinger. And then 39th is Sean Galligan. But when we cross the line, it'll be 22 laps to go. Still got a long way to go here at Michigan for anybody to really have a shot to win this event. And the green flag is back out, and Dylan Thoreau, kind of hard to tell if it was a good or bad restart. I think it was somewhat a poor restart, because look at Jessica Shelton getting a run on the outside. But I think Thoreau may still have a possible advantage running the bottom off of 2. Let's see. I don't know, Jessica's keeping pace with him on the outside. Now Sheldon's getting all the momentum going on the outside lane, but now Dylan Thoreau's still hanging on to the bottom. Actually, he left that bottom lane open as here comes Fiegel with the run on the inside now. Tim Fiegel's got the run on the bottom, and it was Jessica Shelton who led that lap, just barely though, and now Fiegel's going to have the edge on the bottom lane. So now put Fiegel to the lead. As I noticed and somebody got the wall. I think that was Patrick Smith. But I was about to say, I noticed there's a bit of a separation spreading back from James Richardson back to James Shelley. And I got a suspicion that it was Shelley that got into Facepuncher on pit road, and that explains why there's a slight buckle on the hood of the 71 and why there's right side damage on the 62. We're still clean and green here at Michigan. Tim Fiegel still hanging on, but we got 3, now about to be 4 wide for second. Now it settles back to 3 wide. But the battle for second rages on between Cody Lamas and Seth Cole. And it looks like Seth Cole uses the outside to get the spot, but he's going to shut the door on Lamas. Good move on the part of 99 to block that lane from building momentum so he can try and do it for himself, as he's going to come down to the bottom underneath of Fiegel. Seth Cole is definitely looking for some redemption, especially after a couple weeks ago at Sonoma, where he dominated the race until a bad pit stop, and it cost him the win. He is definitely a man on a mission to try to get his first win of the season. Right behind him, Cody Lamas, who's a rookie in this series, but a long-time veteran of the NR offline community, and he's showing what he's made of right now in the second spot. So pretty much this main pack consists of the top 16 right now, and then it's a little over a second separating back from the 78 of Dylan Jacobs back to the 2 of Dylan Young. So these guys aren't necessarily out of it yet. They still have plenty of time to catch up to everyone else up at the front of the field to make it a bigger pack to battle for the win. But Seth Cole currently has the lead, but he leaves that bottom open, and now Tim Fiegel's going to try and regain the spot. Fiegel takes the spot for now, but Cody Lamas has got that run for himself, but Fiegel uses the outside to clear everybody. So move Tim Fiegel back up to the lead now. I thought we were under caution because I thought I saw yellow lights, but yeah, a couple of cars, actually only one car really off the pace, and that's Matt Haas. He's really off the pace too. Then just some stragglers who kind of lost the pack. Meanwhile, back up here at the front, Tim Fiegel had the lead, but Seth Cole trying to retake it. But again, that outside lane just gets the bigger run, as you can tell, right out of turn 2. And Fiegel is going to keep the spot for now, but he's still leaving that bottom open for drivers to try and make a move. But right now, it seems like the outside lane is starting to pick up the pace. But now Matt McIntyre going to try and see if he can get the bottom lane to work again, as he's got to run underneath of Fiegel. Matt McIntyre, the defending series champion, trying to look for an early bright spot, considering so far this season, not off to the best start. He's 25th in the point standings, hasn't had a top 10 finish yet this season. He's definitely looking to get a bright spot going for himself this season in hopes of going 2 in a row for the championship. But Matt McIntyre currently has the spot, but they are getting very close to catching Matt Haas. And once they catch him, I think all hell might break loose, as it's less than 14 to go here at Michigan. McIntyre has the spot, and look at Patrick Smith. Fell back many spots after that first green flag run and then the pit stops. He's found himself up here in the mix, and now they have caught Matt Haas, and whoa! Haas gets turned! Fiegel gets collected! Man, that was not good at all. Just as the drivers were getting ready to come in the pit road as well, and there's a couple of drivers, there's quite a few that already pitted, and quite a few staying out. Caution comes out after the leaders caught Matt Haas, and contact ensued. Dylan Thoreau's one of the few that stayed out. He's your race leader. In fact, everyone on back to about Jackie Tang have stayed out, but I expect they're going to come in the pit road now. So who knows who the leader will be when we get back to racing below. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Michigan. So here's how it all starts. The leaders caught Matt Haas, who was already off the pace. And then the first initial contact, It's very close. I don't know. Or I'm actually going to do a step-by-step, frame-by-frame, to see if there was any contact between Seth Cole and Matt Haas. No contact at all. It just looked like Seth was getting really tight and the air went up into Matt Haas's car. And then Matt Haas just runs right into the side of Matt McIntyre for no reason. And then as he slides up, collects Tim Fiegel, and they both go into the outside wall. Matt Haas took more of that, but Tim Fiegel did get some damage in that mess. And Fiegel was a top-notch car who was leading for a good portion of the race. But yeah, we're going to look at this one more time. But yeah, no contact between Seth Cole and Matt Haas, and Matt Haas just runs right up into Matt McIntyre and just cause that to happen. And Matt Haas gets sideways, collects Tim Fiegel, and they both go for a spin. But we're going to go ahead and take you to the restart here at Michigan. So after that last caution, 3 more cars are done for the day, and they include Joshua Sekuli, or actually not Joshua Sekuli, I'm thinking of last season now, Matt Haas, Devin Becker, and Jackie Tang, although I'm not sure what happened to Tang and Becker. I think they might have gotten together on pit road, and that's what happened. But minor scoring error, 4 cars are ahead of the leader, but hey, I'll take that take that over 20 cars being ahead of the leader. So Matt McIntyre is now your race leader. 2nd is Seth Cole. 3rd is Patrick Smith. 4th is Dylan Poteet. 5th, Joshua Collard. 6th is Dylan Young. 7th, Trent Dunham. 8th is Charles Sanford. 9th, Dylan Jacobs. 10th is Cody Lamas. 11th is Carson Gum. 12th, Jake Rogers. 13th, William Brock. 14th, James Qualls. 15th, Zachary Fitzwater. 16th, James Richardson. 17th, Dylan Thoreau. 18th, DJ Curtis. 19th, James Shelley. 20th, Jay Jefferson. 21st is Jessica Shelton. 22nd is Rafael Leduc. 23rd, Emmanuel Hartnett. 24th is Johnny Gardner. 25th, Joshua Sekuli. 26th is Pichu London. 27th, Phil Parker. 28th, Chris Dollarton. 29th is Paul Minnick. 30th is Ashlyn Boyd. Then 31st, Dorian Facepuncher. 32nd, Tim Fiegel. And then the 4 cars ahead of the leader, 33rd, Kyle Matthews. 34th, Jake Baskinger. 35th, Preston Plord. And then 36th is Sean Galligan. So this is going to be an interesting restart. We're coming to 9 laps to go. You got 4 cars ahead of the leader. 1 or 2 of them are not completely up to speed, so we're going to see how this is going to play out. But the green flag is back out, and Matt McIntyre, it looks like Sean Galligan's the one guy who's sort of slightly off the pace a little bit. Kind of held up Matt McIntyre there a little bit, but now Matt's going to go to the bottom to go on by and put him a lap down, put Galligan a lap down. But Galligan's teammate Joshua Collard's reeling in the 32 pretty quickly. In fact, so is everyone else. And Matt left the bottom open, and here comes Collard. Kyle Matthews is the last car on the lead lap ahead of the leaders. And it looks like he's going to let the leaders go on by. So smart move for Kyle Matthews' part to let everyone go. Although Matt McIntyre is going to suffer for it because he's slipping back. How about Patrick Smith up here in 2nd? But he's getting challenged by the 2 of the Dylans, Poteet and Young. Another thing you gotta wonder about is if everyone's still good on gas for the rest of the race. Because everyone pitted with about, I want to say 12 or 13 laps to go. So I feel like they're going to be very, very close on gas if they can make it the rest of the way. But right now, Joshua Collard has the spot right now. Remember, he comes into this race on that borderline of the 30 returning / veteran drivers that can try and lock themselves in the races, not counting rookies. And Collard right now is the borderline driver, but if he were to come through with a good run, he'll get up into the top 30 to be 100% sure. Right now he has the spot as Charles Sanford has second, but here comes Dylan Jacobs. Although he couldn't quite get the run going on the bottom underneath Sanford, Sanford just had too much momentum on the outside and actually is about to get passed by Dylan Young and possibly even Dylan Poteet. But the 78 isn't going to give up, and up here at the front, Charles Sanford trying to figure out a way around Joshua Collard. Trying to pull down low to get some more clean air to get a big enough run. And Dylan Young trying to go for his first win in quite a while. I believe it's been since Season 2, I want to say, since Dylan Young has won a race in this series. He's trying to go for a bright spot, and here comes the points leader, Carson Gum. He's been having a strong start to the season. Not only one top 5/top 10, but he's been very, very consistent. Comes into the race, the points leader. He's trying to look for his first win of the season. But at the line, it was Charles Sanford who led, and it's 4 laps to go here at Michigan. Dylan Young with the run underneath for second, and now he's going to try and peek his way underneath the 03 for the lead. Dylan Poteet going to move from the high lane to the bottom to try to help his buddy out. Carson Gum going to follow suit. We might be setting up for a possible photo finish here, because anytime we see these battles for the lead up here, it's very close at the line. And it's 3 wide for the lead, Sanford, Young, and Poteet. Now almost 4 wide. Carson Gum thought about doing 4 wide, but backed off a bit. Trent Dunham gets the wall just a touch, but he's still going. Sanford has the lead for now, but here comes Poteet on the bottom. Still plenty of time for anybody up here to make something happen. Although, of course, they gotta be concerned about fuel a little bit. But we are coming to 2 laps to go. Who leads at the line? I think Poteet got him. Yeah, just barely. Poteet right now has the edge with the lead, but Dylan Young is right on his back bumper. Patrick Smith following behind him, too. A little more than a lap and a half to go for these drivers. Dylan Young's now got to run to the inside. Patrick Smith gonna try. Couldn't quite make it stick right there to try and make it 3 wide, but Joshua Collard's gonna go through the middle to take the lead. White flag is out, and what a move by Collard to use the middle lane to make the pass for the lead. But Dylan Young's still on the bottom. He's still got to run. Although Dylan Young seems to be a little bit loose on the bottom, and I think that might have cost him. Charles Sanford now in the second. Dylan Young seems to have something wrong with his car to why he can't keep a momentum going on the bottom. Sanford trying to get some clean air, but I don't think it's going to be enough as we're coming out of turn 4. Nobody's going to be a threat for the win now. Checkered flag waves. Joshua Collard wins the Lifelock 400 at Michigan. With an impressive 3 wide pass before the white flag through the middle lane. Managed to survive and get his first win of the season, and if I'm correct, I believe that's also his 5th career win in the series. What a job by that 43 team. Came in the race in the danger zone of being possibly not locked into the race, but he manages to get the W, and that's going to really help him to get high up in the point standings to be for sure guaranteed to make the next race coming soon. But man, that was a great race. Let's look at the rest of the results. Charles Sanford was so close, but still gets a great run in the 2nd position. Highest finishing rookie, Patrick Smith, finishing in 3rd. Dylan Young thought he could have made some work, but something must have went wrong with his car to why he couldn't keep the momentum going on the bottom to make that move underneath Collard on the last lap, but still gets a great run in 4th. And then the points leader, Carson Gum, gets a top 5 finish in 5th, and most likely going to keep the points lead as well. Dylan Potee with a great run in the 6th position. Dylan Thoreau with a solid run in 7th. Cody Lamas finishing out in 8th. James Qualls came out of nowhere in the end to get a top 10. And then rounding out the top 10, Dylan Jacobs with a great run in 10th. Rest of the top 20 was Matt McIntyre, Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, William Brock, Seth Cole, DJ Curtis, James Richardson, Jake Rogers, Emmanuel Hartnett, and Chris Dollerton. Rest of the top 30 was Jessica Sheldon, Dorian Facepuncher, Rafael LeDuc, Phil Parker, Pichu London, Johnny Gardner, Paul Minnick, Jay Jefferson, Ashlyn Boyd, and James Shelley. And then the last car to finish on the lead lap was Tim Fiegel, and then 5 cars a lap down, Kyle Matthews, Preston Plord, Sean Galligan, Jake Baskinger, and Joshua Sekuli. And everyone else was out of the race after all the wrecking. Jackie Tang, Devin Becker, Matt Haas, Zach Flickinger, Alex Drayton, and James McLeod. So that does it for our coverage here today at Michigan. Next week, we head back to Mile and a Half Racing at Atlanta next week. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Atlanta. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.